5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hello and welcome to Truth, Beer, and Podsequences. So this is a podcast where my co-hosts and I listen to all the Cincinnati-based craft beer podcasts from the previous week. We get together at a podcast host, and today we are back at Higher Gravity Summit Park. Thank you for being such a gracious podcast host. We hope there aren't too many consequences from the hosts of the other podcasts as we basically put our own spin on what they said. So it may or may not be true.
We've actually been on a pretty decent run lately, so I'm optimistic that there will be no consequences for our actions for this week. But you never know.
You never know. So I am Marco. I run a tap room here locally, and that voice you heard belongs to the best co-host in Podcastlandia.
I'm Julia, and I love all things Beer Vent season, and it is Beer Vent season. Well, it's Beer Vent pre-order season here at Higher Gravity. If you have not pre-ordered your Beer Vent box yet, be sure to do that. If you pre-order by July 31st, you only have a couple days left when this comes out, like 2 or 3 days after this comes out. You will get an extra beer in your calendar. Other than that, you will just get the normal 25 beers. So get on it. Higher Gravity Craft House, HAUS.com.
Excellent, Julia. And so before we go any further, we'll go ahead and do the disclaimer. The thoughts and opinions on this podcast are ours and ours alone, do not reflect any entity which we may represent, such as Full-Time Jobs or Higher Gravity. We will tell you at the end of the pod how to get in touch with us for compliments, praise, money, and all of the fortune and riches that we actually deserve. So we will tell you that then. Any craft beer podcast would not be a good craft beer podcast. And honestly, we talk about a lot of things other than craft beer, like drinks and sometimes sports every now and then, the sports balls.
Yes.
And then, but today we are drinking craft beer. Julia, what you drinking?
I am drinking Septemberfest from Wolf's Ridge because it is Oktoberfest season.
That's right.
This is a Festbier, and I actually haven't had a sip yet because I sat down with it in my glass and we just got to rolling. So while you tell us what's in your glass, I'm going to take a drink of this.
I got some IPA from 18th Street. What was it? Here Comes the Reaper or something.
Don't fear the Reaper. Is there cowbell in it?
Yeah, cowbell.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. This is really good. This is a really nice
Christopher
Festbier.
Walken?
No, I do a Christopher Running.
Yeah?
Yeah. That was terrible.
Put a watch in his ass. Anyways.
Oh man! All right, well, we don't have many podcasts to cover today.
No, but we're gonna take a long fucking time.
Oh hell yeah, we are!
Shout out to Julia's mom. Hope you're
Hi,
doing
Mom.
well.
Yeah, hope everything's. She's been taking care of my aunt. Had some surgery, had some stuff going on, but everyone seems to be doing well.
Oh, I just popped into my head. I had genuine care. And I always do when we talk about your mom.
Do.
But
yeah, she's doing.
I know
all
she
right.
listens, so shout out.
Hi, Mom. Definitely appreciate you, and to your mom as well. Because
she don't listen.
she's been.
I don't know if she could find a podcast.
That's your job. You're supposed to show her
how
to listen to your podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe next Mother's
2 years
Day.
in, maybe I'll figure it
out. That is true. This is, for all intents and purposes, technically 2 years worth of podcasts.
How about that?
This is episode 104. Our very first episode was released August the 6th of 2021, so not entirely 2 years to the date, but episode-wise, if you're counting weeks, we've made it.
We did it.
A long time.
We did it.
Yep, so that's about all that we have. It was great hanging out with everyone, and maybe we'll start another podcast later. Peace.
No, we're here. We got shit to do.
We absolutely have shit to do.
But
Julia.
Cheers, though. Congratulations for that. That's really cool.
It is very cool. I would say we have 3 podcasts to talk about, but I think everything that we are going to talk about has a video element to it.
Yes.
One of them only has a video element to it, which, as much as I want them to release their show as a podcast audio only feed as well, it wouldn't hit the same as it does in video form.
Absolutely not.
The other 2, again, they were started as videos and then they were pushed out as audio only to your podcatcher. So what the hell am I talking about? Marco, did you listen to or watch Craft Parenting Podcast episode 111?
I did.
There we go. Did you listen to this week's, or, well, I guess you really can't listen. Well, you could just listen, put it on the background, listen to or watch the Brew Skies, Brews, Newz, Boobs, News, whatever in the world they're calling themselves this week.
Yeah, I did.
Fantastic. And then one that I know you watched because we chatted during it.
That's correct.
The Weekly Pint.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Where did that guy?
Where is that guy? I know. I keep waiting for, just randomly out of the quiet roar of the party that's happening around the corner here to just hear back.
Right.
Nothing. I am incredibly disappointed.
Don't know where he's at.
No.
Well, I know where he's at earlier, but
Yeah, but well, I guess technically he could still be there.
probably he could be.
All right. What do you want to start with first? Any thoughts, opinions, ideas?
Yeah, Craft Parenting Pod.
All right. This is episode 111, a bunch of family stuff and a touch on family brewing adventures, which is not the actual title of this episode. It's just the one that I made up for them.
Right.
Caroline and Joe, come at me if you don't like it.
Caroline.
Let's see, they talked about, it was mostly their family adventures. So the brewery portion of this episode was from about 4 minutes and 30 seconds in to about the 23rd minute mark.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the part that we're going to talk about because we talk about beer. We don't talk about parenting as much as I cannot appreciate enough all the work that parents do day in and day out.
Mm-hmm.
They talked about going to MPH Brewing as a slight convenience factor to ending their trip to IKEA. So they didn't get food at IKEA. Instead, they decided, let's get food somewhere else.
Have you ever gotten food at IKEA?
No, because I'm kind of afraid to.
I have.
I've heard that it's good, but I'm like,
good, what, relatively speaking?
Right, exactly. So
I have eaten at IKEA a couple times, actually.
Did you get the meatballs? Because that's what you're supposed to do, right?
I think I got the ribs.
Okay, they have ribs?
Yeah.
What the hell? Okay,
what they did when I went, they had ribs. So I went it was a way to spend time with my oldest, and I said, what do we go to IKEA? We went to IKEA, and then we ate there. I've eaten there 3 or 4 times.
Okay. Just like I'm the only restaurant, brewery, whatever places with food that I can think of off the top of my head besides IKEA are Costco, and that's slices of pizza and hot dogs.
Yeah.
So I don't think of
those hot dogs, though.
I don't think of a furniture store and go, ooh, I'm going to order the ribs next time I'm there. I mean, meatballs is, kind of bizarre enough as is.
Right.
But ribs, like what?
Yeah,
do they also
ribs.
have steak? And do they give you free
steak.
bread when you order? Like what's
I don't think they had
the deal?
steak. I think somebody had chicken tenders. And when we went once, Vincent probably had chicken tenders.
Okay.
I don't remember what else. This was years ago.
Was it the Westchester IKEA?
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, I remember the absolute shit show that parking and traffic and all that was when that place opened.
I've been to 2 IKEAs, the one in Westchester and then one in Austin, Texas, or the one near Austin.
Okay.
I've been to that one.
So if you were just finishing up an IKEA trip with your family, and we'll pretend that your children are much younger than they are currently, would you prefer to eat at IKEA or would you prefer to stop at a brewery that also has food on the way home to kind of check the dinner item off of the list after getting lost for 3 hours in a store?
It depends.
With arrows on the floor.
It depends on if I'm with everybody, if I'm with all the kids, if I'm with one kid or 2 kids or, no kids, and, what time of day it is. If there's a brewery nearby that I haven't been to or that there's something that I really need to try from a brewery nearby. I mean, I'd rather go to a brewery anyway.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
I mean,
that's fair.
I'd rather go to a brewery than go to IKEA.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you guys, can you drop me off at a brewery and then go to IKEA? Mm-hmm. I mean, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah, you guys are going to go shopping? I know. You're right there now.
Well, who's near IKEA? You got Grainworks and you got Dogberry.
You have, Sonder, technically, you just have to go across, Well, when the new one opens,
the new one's going to be very
that's
close.
going to be like literally across the parking lot. Well, across the highway, across the parking lot.
Right.
But that's going to be right there. You're not that far. Really, you're not that far from Third Eye. You're probably within just to use the Brews Travelers Outcast podcast. You're probably within like a 5-mile radius.
You know what's not that
good
close?
Number. What?
MPH.
Side? Oh, MPH. Yeah.
Not that close.
But,
like a 20-minute drive.
But if they're heading southbound from IKEA on 71, MPH is one of the first-ish breweries that you'll hear as you're going. No, but it's one of the first.
It's a stretch.
But if you haven't been there and you're like, hey, you know what, we're kind of going to be driving right by it, let's take advantage of the situation and stop there. So to kind of get back to the actual episode that we're supposed to be talking about, this is why we have 3 episodes to talk about, and this is still going to be an hour plus.
Set it.
Yeah. All right,
book it.
We're doing great. Caroline pretty much just read a lot of information about MPH off of their website, but they threw in a bunch of talk about what they felt about the space and how, they have a nice outdoor patio that the kids could run around in. It wasn't a super beer-centric episode as far as the MPH beers.
Right.
They talked more about left-hand beers because left-hand are, I don't want to call them guest taps, but they're guest taps. You know what I mean? There's a relationship there.
Yeah, there's a relationship.
But it's not the same as like a guest tap at another brewery. So I'm not exactly sure how I want to try to emphasize that or describe that. But, Caroline and Joe went over, again, they talked more about the left-hand beers than MPH beers. They did talk about the pizza and the food at MPH. The space, that's good for good. Yeah, it is good. I mean, you and I met up there with, Vincent and Josh and all that a couple times. Yeah. Always been great. Let's see, what else did they talk about? The kitchen, the food. Again, they really didn't touch on...
And by the way, they stopped there a month ago.
Yeah, it was quite a while ago.
They got a crowler from MPH a month ago.
Hey, their beer fridge is like a black hole. You reach in and you pull stuff out of all of the dimensions of time and space. Yeah. You never know what you're going to get when you reach into that. You might even get a freaking ice.
You might.
Unacceptable.
You might.
Unacceptable.
They got to grow up and quit doing that shit.
After that, they were like, oh, do you want to talk more about some of the other things we did as a family? And Joe was like, no, we're sticking on the beer talk.
Staying on beer.
So they talked about their latest visit to Brink, which they went to support the children. They went for one of the Brink for a Cause nights that was supporting their daughter's school. Yeah,
because they believe the children are our future.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
I don't remember the other lyrics to that.
Teach them well and go ahead and let them lead the way.
I believe the children are the future. I can't remember like any of the lyrics, but man, I hear it in my head.
Just show them all the beauty they have inside. Give them a sense of pride.
Oh my gosh, you remember every single word, don't you? Oh my God, that's fantastic. As typical, they've talked about Brink a bunch because Brink is kind of one of their, it sounds like, favorite breweries to go to besides Westside because, Westside, best side. Got to make sure we have it in at least once in every episode.
Can you put a tick mark in? We did it. We said it.
We said it. Now we're going to forget it. Yeah.
Julia's got her Westside Brewing, one of the breweries.
I do. I have my Cicada Summer Westside Brewing shirt on. One of my favorite Westside shirts. Love this one. So they were there to support Lily's school for one of the Brink for a Cause days, which Brink does a lot of good charity events out of the tap room. So almost any time you go, there's a good chance you're going to be supporting an amazing cause or a school or what have you. So be sure to check that out. They do talk about how the tap room, the indoor part of Brink, isn't the most kid-friendly space, which I would agree with. It's a very narrow, small tap room. But then I was thinking about the outdoor space. When you walk outside, you're going straight into a parking lot, so that's not exactly the most kid-friendly either. And they have a fenced-in kind of patio section, but you still got to keep an eye on your children's. You can't just let them run wild.
No.
Chalk or not.
Right.
Yes.
Pack and play? Is there room for pack and plays?
outside of the patio space, like you have to
Not
use,
inside?
You have to use the chalk to mark off one of the parking spaces, and that's where
Good
the pack
idea.
and play can go. So, again, I don't know. Got to be a little cautious with that one. Apparently, while they were there, Joe didn't understand how to order food and ordered tacos incorrectly.
Yeah.
Which led to a very, very stressful, intense evening for the two of their marriage. I mean, I was kind of surprised it didn't end
taco
right there. Tacos are serious business.
Oh, without a doubt.
And when one person is supposed to order 2 meals
Yeah.
and they come back with only 1 meal that is only 2 tacos big, I don't know. That's
Sounds like Joe had to put the tacos down and go turn around and go buy more tacos.
any judge would just say, I understand. I will nullify this immediately.
Because she kicked them in the ding-ding.
In the plums.
Right.
Luckily, Joe has big hands so that he can carry the tacos. You know, Marco spit on his beer on that one. I know. We have cutouts of the size of his tiny hands. It's amazing. Let's see, what else do we have? They were incredibly upset about the lack of to-go beers in the Brink fridge. So hopefully Brink has restocked from, I don't know if this was another
I'm sure that got back to Brink.
Oh, probably, yeah. I mean, this could be another recap that they did from like 3 months ago, to where Brink's like, that was like one day, and it was...
They just look up
Right.
and they're like, fridge full. I don't know. Fridge full, I don't know.
As long as there's nothing in it but Father G's bee's knees.
Right, Father G. He's a gangster.
He is the gangsta of College Hill.
Gangster of College Hill.
I don't know. Why not? It sounded good. Maybe. Maybe
like
it
it.
didn't. I don't know.
I like it.
All right. Then after that, they talked about a bunch of other stuff with the family and the kids and the more parenting side of the Craft Parenting podcast. So that's not what you're here to listen to. So that's not what we're going to talk about.
Nah.
But those first, 22, 24 minutes, a lot of fun to hear about their trips to both a new brewery and going back to one of their favorites for the 976th time. I wonder if they're Mug Club members at Brink. I know they are at Westside.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They might be.
They might be. It's possible.
What's a Brink mug look like?
It's, it just looks like a normal stein, like ceramic,
Oh, okay.
like a shorter ceramic stein. So it's not super tall, but it's got girth.
Joe
He's a big
probably
boy.
needs to use 2 hands.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they still don't go all the way around.
No.
No.
Pick it up like he's having soup.
It's like me when I try to pick up a full liter stein. I have to like two-handed, and I'm just like, this is so awkward.
You can get it with one
terrifying.
hand.
You can.
You can.
I'm just not very confident about it. I don't trust myself to drink holding the stein with one hand.
You don't.
Or I'm sorry, the
You don't hold
stein.
the handle.
No, I know. You put your hand
in,
through it.
Through it.
I don't have big hands.
It's okay.
It's awkward, especially when it's full. It's heavy.
Yeah.
And then I go to try to like lift it, and it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying.
Terrifying.
Yes. Was there anything else you had on
Oh, I got
Craft
nothing
Parenting Pod? Okay. I did notice that your glass is empty because you started drinking before I got back with my beer. So
And it's a taster.
and it was
There's
a
4
a
ounces.
taster, yes. Do you want to take a quick break, get a beer, and then we'll go? I mean, we have time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We will be right back. There is a party here, and this place is starting to rock.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm still enjoying my Septemberfest. And Marco, what do you have in your glass right now?
I have Oktoberfest from Masthead Brewing.
That's a damn good beer.
Yeah.
I love Oktoberfest season. I love Oktoberfest beers, be it Festbiers, Märtzens. I mean, I don't know why. Just put out the exact same beer year round. Just rename it for the different, like a spring ale or whatever, and just let me have it all the time. Let's move on to the Weekly
Pint.
Let's do the Weekly Pint because that is always such a fun show to participate in, which is really what everyone should be doing. On Mondays around 9:30, there's typically a Facebook event invite that goes out. There was not one last night, but either way, one happened, and I am so dedicated that I had my computer off. I was getting ready to get into bed, and then I hear Josh yell from upstairs, "Weekly Pint's happening!" And I just bolted my ass back upstairs, booted up my computer, and went, I got to be a part of the magic that is Monday nights on the Gnarly Gnomes Facebook page and YouTube channel. And I think it also streams to Twitch, and it's posted on Twitter or X or whatever the hell Elon Musk has done to fuck over that platform. I don't know. I don't even know. This was episode 178, Oktoberfest Season Returns. But he didn't start with Oktoberfest season. Instead, he was asking what everyone was drinking. And when I said, it's already late, I was already kind of clocked out for the night and said I'm having some liquid IV, some just like electrolyte mix before I go to bed. That's triggered something in his brain to say, oh, I wanted to bring this up. A pickle wine spritzer.
Yeah.
That was, I guess, a collaboration between Spritz Society, which I've never heard of before, and Clausen Pickles.
Yeah.
No idea what it actually is. Is it a wine? Like, is it wine and pickle? Is it more of a like vodka soda with pickle? Is it a what exactly is this? No one knows because it's sold out. But
right.
If it does come back, I told Noam I will go in on a $50 8-pack essentially with you, because I am very, very curious, and
I'd be curious to taste it.
And I do enjoy pickled drinks. There have been a couple of pickled beers locally that have come out, and even not locally, but just that have been distributed locally. Some are better than others. Urban Artifacts is still king. I mean, they do that so incredibly well.
Did you crack that can I gave you?
No, I'm probably going to do that tomorrow.
That's years old.
Yes. So Marco and I and my Josh had if you haven't heard our episode from Saturday where we were up at Ohio Valley Hops talking with Dave Volkman at the Hop Yard, absolutely amazing experience. We went back to Marco's new place afterwards, had a mini bottle share that did not include any stouts or anything barrel aged because it was still early in the day and we just didn't have any. So we enjoyed what we did. As we were leaving, Mark was like, "Oh, hey, I have let me send you home with some cans of stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, some extras of what we had during the share." Nope, he gave me like a 3-year-old pickle can, like the original label that I probably gave you. I probably gave it to you. I bought it. Oh, did you buy it? I was going to say, boy, how funny would that be if I gave it to you, like, oh yeah, you don't want to buy a 6-pack, here, try this. But yes, I will.
I still have one in the beer fridge.
Nice. I think what I'm going to do is a vertical. I'm going to take one from the 12-pack that I have in the fridge, like the current, try it next to the one that you gave me.
I can't even tell how old it is.
There's probably no date on it. Or it might have been on one of the... I don't know. I haven't really
it's on there. I just
examined
can't read it.
Okay.
It's a small complaint I have with some breweries. Those laser printing on the bottom of the cans, a lot of times you just can't even read it.
Right.
It's too jumbled to even understand.
Is there any way to make that more reliable or more precise? Because I'm sure that like the potential condensation on the can, if the can's like moving at all on the conveyor when it's trying to be put on, like I'm sure there are a lot of factors that go into it.
Well, it gets late. That goes on before the cold beer.
Okay,
hits
so that's
it.
like one of the first things that happens to the can.
As the can, typically.
Okay. I've never watched a canning
typically
line
what I've
through.
seen.
Okay.
The
So
empty
take all this with
can
a grain of
comes
salt.
down, and then it'll get dated or printed, and then flip right side up, and then filled, and then labeled.
Gotcha. Okay. There's got to be a way to make that date stay legible for longer, or even be put on there legibly from the get-go. And some of them are on like the outside edge, like the rim. Some are on the very bottom, and it's like,
that's crazy.
Standardize, people. Standardize what you're doing.
I mean, you got enough space on the bottom of that can to work with. Can you just get it inside that circle?
And don't put in like 3-point font. Put in like 11-point font. It's going to be, 8 characters total. You have the 6 characters for the dates, then 2 slashes. Or don't even put the slashes. I mean, you have enough room. You have plenty of room. From the pickle talk, this is why this show's going to be plenty long. Oktoberfest season is back. And we didn't know that we were going to be part of the first bracket of Gnome's Oktoberfest Quest.
You had an idea from the title.
I didn't see it. You didn't see
it?
No. I ran upstairs, turned my computer on, went to his Facebook page, and clicked the video. So no, I did not see the title of the episode until I re-listened to it in my podcatcher to make sure he gets every click that he possibly can for all the content he puts out. I don't want to give too much away because I want you to watch this episode or even listen to it to find out in depth what the Gnarly Gnomes Oktoberfest Quest is all about. But the very first bracket happened, and if you want to follow along with all of the brackets, you pretty much have to follow him on every one of his social media pages, on all the different social media platforms, Instagram, X, whatever the hell Elon's doing. Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, OnlyFans, Facebook, FriendFace,
Truth.
MySpace, and what was the last one? Truth. Yeah. So pay attention to all of those. Patreon, some of them you may have to pay for, like his OnlyFans page. You're going to pay for that content.
You're going to have to pay for that.
But boy, it's spicy, and it is well worth the $2 a month that I throw at that account. Let's see. This first bracket was Taft's Oktoberfest versus High Grains Meadow. And I absolutely love the fact that after doing this, he didn't say Oktoberfest correct once. He kept saying Oktoberfest.
That's correct.
For the entire rest of the episode.
We should finish and go get some Meadow.
Ooh, you want to?
Yeah.
I mean, it's right down the street.
It's down the street.
Okay, yeah. We have 2 more, so we can't go on too many rancid rabbit holes about this one then.
All right.
All right, let's try to be
good.
We'll try to be good. Let's see. He kind of let it slip that he has always hated Oktoberfest. But this year he said, it's pretty good. It's okay. It's all right. I'm not too upset with this one. That was definitely something I never expected him to admit to, because he typally does not.
What's him trying to work on himself?
He's trying to be more transparent, more open.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of work on himself, a lot of self-help. Mm-hmm. Last year, his first year being an entrepreneur, and that year had him think about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so this year's the work on, the never-ending work.
Sure.
Which
on
is
oneself.
work on
yes.
oneself. Yeah.
Yes. Always good to, yes. Let's see. From there, he went into the history of his Oktoberfest quest and just the different ways that he's tried to do it in the past, the different ways to, again, follow him on the bracket journey. I don't know if he is going to be putting up just a general bracket or listing, hey, today I paired these 2 beers together and this was the winner. No idea, but it's all going to come to a head with a grand finale, which hopefully will be live again. Last year was at Fretboard. It was fun. A hell of a lot of fun.
That was a blast.
There will be some event where he picks his winner of the best Oktoberfest beer in Cincinnati. If you're the brewery that makes it, you will get a Golden Gnome statue. Mad Tree won it last year. It was a damn good beer. I couldn't argue at all with that decision.
And him being a gnome, it's a life-size statue.
It is. I was actually kind of impressed that he got it there on his own, that it fit in his car, that he was able to drag it out into Fretboard onto the stage.
Didn't his wife have to take it to him?
Well,
did he forget it?
Maybe. I don't remember.
Oh. Maybe I just misremembered that.
Or it's our truth now. We've spoken it into existence that Mrs. Gnome had to bring the life-size golden gnome to Fretboard because Gnome had too many cans of Oktoberfest.
God, there's so many cans.
And he was trying to line up on the Fretboard to say, oh, wait, we were lining them up for him. Why do we always get stuck?
Because it's fun.
It is fun. It's a lot of fun. Speaking of getting stuck with doing stuff, I'm kind of skipping ahead and then I'm going to go back in time for the episode.
Going to go back in time.
Speaking of getting stuck doing stuff to help out the gnome.
That was Huey Lewis.
Big Sis, yeah, I know.
Okay.
Big Sis is
back.
Today, as we're recording this, was Brew Day down at Darkness Brewing. We had both told Gnome, hey, let us know when Brew Day is and we would love to try to be a part of it if we can. And when did we find out about this? Last night during the Weekly Pint.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing? We told you we wanted to be involved, and he's going to expect us to just run the raffle table again.
Okay.
I know it. I know that's what's going to happen. Had a lot of fun doing that last year down at Braxton. Darkness, they're going to be making a like a hazy Pilsner or maybe a hazy oatmeal stout. Wasn't entirely sure what style they decided on.
An oatmeal Pilsner.
That sounds amazing. Mm-hmm. A bunch of flaked oat in it. Keep an eye out for when Big Sis Day is going to happen, for when the beer is going to be tapped. It is a great time. It's going to support a local charity that is to be announced. And it's all in honor and in memory of Mike Cisneros, who started Cincy Brewcast. And it doesn't get any better than that. It's always a great beer. It's always a great time. There's some amazing raffle prizes that should be coming up from all the local breweries and bottle shops. And then to kind of step back in the timeline of the Weekly Pint.
Back in time.
To wrap this up. Who was that?
Huey Lewis.
Oh, okay. Cool. Didn't know that. Beer, booze, bonks, boinks, binks, biscuits, boobies, and bubblegum is back. He's having some meetings with the Foaling Warehouse. He actually posted a picture outside of the Foaling Warehouse before a meeting saying, I wonder what I'm here to talk about. My response to him, to that picture, was you are going to try to see if they can make the Mystery Machine vending machines distribute 19.2 ounce cans confirmed by the Gnome. We will have mystery 19.2 ounce cans at the Foaling Warehouse for beer, booze, bunks, binks.
And they call it Mystery Machine because it's painted like the Mystery Machine.
The Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine. Yeah. Brilliant marketing. It's a brilliant idea. How they're going to get those 19.2 ounce cans, because we know that those are the Gnome's favorite can size for when he's enjoying a beer. I'm excited. I am ridiculously excited. It's going to be a great time. There will only be one session this year, so you don't have to worry about, do I day drink at the fest or do I just drink to end my night at the fest? It's all one. It's all in and of the same. And he did also tease that he's trying to get a couple of other little special things to happen at this festival that have not happened at the two previous. He's adding something that's going to add a little something to beer, booze, bunks, boinks, binks, biscuits, boobs, bobcats, and burros. There may be Cincinnati celebrities there. I said Burrow or Karras. He didn't not confirm. He didn't completely deny any potential involvement. So, you never know.
You never know.
Keep an eye on all of his social media pages for everything.
What's he pointing at us for?
You know what? Because we are causing a ruckus back here in the corner. We can't be any louder than the music or the party happening in front of the coolers.
He just walked in.
Timing is everything.
Yeah.
All right. Are we rolling right into Brew Skies, or do we need to take a quick break?
I think we'll take a break and catch up with... Well, fuck. Okay.
All right. We'll be right back, guys. We spoke him into existence. It happens every damn time.
Yes.
But there was no mic, so there was no proof of the Gnome's existence.
Correct.
Yes. Well, we'll see if there is any background noise when it comes to talking about the last show that we're going to talk about tonight. Brew Skies, Booze News, Boobs News, Beer News, Yahoo News, I don't know, whatever the hell they're calling themselves this week.
X News.
Good freaking Lord. I don't even know. We're just going to call it Brew Skies Booze News, although they keep changing the spelling of news. Oh, God.
It's the Weekly Pint sequel.
Yes. Even though it comes out pre-Weekly Pint most times.
They're just really far after.
Oh, okay. It's the publishing time, not the recording time. Sure, we'll go with that. We're trying to figure out podcast time and YouTube video time, and it's all a mess. But this is a show that the Brew Skies team does. If you haven't listened to the Brew Skies Happy Hour podcast, season 1, well, the mystery season that you really have trouble finding anymore. So I'll say season 0.5, which talked about breweries' experiences during COVID, and then season 1, which was all about the history of American craft beer leading up to about the 70s-ish.
America.
And now season 0.5, which we haven't had an episode in a bit, so I don't know if they've just stopped or if they're still working and we're going to get 5 episodes released at once. But this is kind of their little tie-in where they give you the past week's news about beer, spirits, alcohol, and some non-alcohol related stories that have hit the media. Your eyeballs are going in different directions.
Yeah, never
Okay.
mind. It's all good.
It's all good?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yeah, just some strange, some guy.
All right. Let's see. They started this episode, well, the episode title, Will It Ever End? Bud Light is in the news yet again. Even though I think they talked about Bud Light for maybe a minute, like literally maybe 60 seconds this
Maybe.
episode. Wasn't a whole lot. I'm okay with that. Stone Brewing. They talked about Stone, a little bit about Anchor, Sapporo. The first batch of Sapporo beer has apparently been brewed at the Stone facility.
It's alive. It's real.
It is alive. It is there. It's an entire clusterfuck of a situation. No one really knows which way is up anymore. But there is a lot of news about different, I don't necessarily want to say investment groups, but Anchor Brewing employees, some of the other smaller, I don't say smaller breweries, that's not completely correct, but like Narragansett. There is talk of people buying the Anchor brand and trying to keep that alive.
I want to keep the people employed.
Agreed.
I would like to see the brand live on, but I don't know what to say about the beer. I just don't. I mean, what in order to keep it alive and to keep the people employed and to make money, because you got to make
the same thing.
Got to make a profit to stay in business.
Sure, right.
What are you going to do? I mean, I don't know. And that wasn't discussed on this pod. That was just a tangent. Like, I'd like for it to be around, but
right. It's kind of like and this is going to be a terrible analogy, but it reminded me.
Hit us with it.
It reminded me of when people, like, there's a business that's threatening, hey, we can't keep going. Next week's going to be our last week. We have too many bills, whatever. Then there are like GoFundMes and like thousands of people show up outside to buy this and this and this. That's great, but it doesn't keep paying the bills month after month after month. It might get them an extra week, an extra month, an extra brewing cycle, but it's not sustainable. So there has to be the actual interest in the product that they're making.
So look
to keep
for
it going. So
Anchor
I'm hoping.
Hazy IPA.
And Anchor Pasty Stouts.
Yeah.
Gozas. Would you want them to keep making the Anchor Steam beer? Like, is it about the product, or is it about the brand, the name?
Well, if Boston Beer can have Sam Adams, the amber, if it can be only like 10-15% of their total production because they make all this other shit, including hard Mountain Dew and Twisted Tea and the cider they make and all this other. If
they don't have to have that as
a Boston
their
lager
foundation.
is, only a small portion of their portfolio, why couldn't Anchor Steam that one beer be just a small portion of the portfolio, and they live on to keep going?
I agree with that. I have absolutely no issues with that whatsoever. I feel like sometimes when similar situations pop up, people try to stick with the exact same thing that, and I don't want to say that Steam beer wasn't working before, because I think that it was probably intentionally tanked by Sapporo, just, again, not knowing everything, just the bits and pieces that we are privy to.
We all think you know all of it.
I know everything. I'm just not letting you know everything. I mean, I have secrets.
Your
to keep.
sources.
My sources.
According to my sources.
As I've said to many a person before, it's not my story to tell.
Yeah.
It is not my story to tell. I know everything from page 1 to page 101. Not my book to read out loud. So, but if you contribute enough to the Patreon, I might spill the beans a little bit on Anchor and Sapporo.
That's right. Julia has a price.
Doesn't everyone? Let's see. What else did they talk about? Okay, this is one that I knew I could go down a complete ridiculous rabbit hole on. The Brew Sky's OnlyFans reaction channel.
Why does everyone take our ideas, Julia?
Because we don't. we talk about them, but then we don't act on them, so other people do it first. We need to just start acting instead of just talking.
They take them even if you act on them.
This is true. This is very true. I will 100% admit I would pay for a porn reaction channel where you're kind of MST3King that.
What's that mean?
What's what mean?
MST3K.
Mystery Science Theater 3000, the original, the original reaction platform almost. But my God, how hilarious would it be to watch Brett and Mike watching a bad porn and just reacting to it? Holy, I would pay money to.
I wouldn't.
I would pay money for that.
You can.
I'll tell you about it. How about that?
Yeah. No.
No.
Yeah. No.
Maybe.
Do they watch the porn in the same room together, or are they separate?
They're in separate
Zoom?
armchairs or something. They're in separate. They're not on the same casting couch together.
I have a lot of questions.
There are a lot of logistics you would have to work through. But I think it would be absolutely hilarious because there are a lot. It's fine. It's fine. There are some incredibly bad porn films out there. There's some incredibly good ones out there, and
all right, top 5 bad porn films out there.
Pretty much everyone.
They have names.
Yeah, good God. But no, poor Mark. And Mark is just like, what in God's name is happening? We've been at this for 2 years. You don't expect this from me by now?
Oh, of course. No. We're good.
All right.
Yeah.
There's got to be a good, watermelon named porn that somebody could come up with really fast.
Melon Fest. You see, it's.
It could go 2 different ways.
It could go. Oh, my God. Most of them do. Let's see. Almost made Mark lose his drink on that one.
That was close.
Yes.
That was a close one.
Yes. I have succeeded. I don't need to do anything else today.
Stepbrother, what are you doing with that watermelon?
Oh, no. Oh, my God. I will let that one just stay where it is. What else could freaking Lord? I completely lost every train of thought not that any of them were good, but see, Mike and Brett think that
you sent us down that range.
I did. I absolutely did. I take full responsibility for it. Mike and Brett think that we are regressing back to Flavor Town. They think that the pasty stouts, the super overly New Englandy, fruity, citrusy IPAs are coming back, and I don't know. I hope not. I think there's still a good portion of the drinking population to where that is their kind of gateway into it because Americans love sugar, as they've said multiple times. So
Yeah.
I do see that being that easy access to beer and starting to enjoy it if it doesn't taste like beer, if it's all sickly sweet and cloying and just heavy and tastes like orange juice, sure. But do they stop there or do they keep going on the journey and eventually learn to appreciate beer for what it is? That's where the real
I like that.
problem,
I like
comes
that
from.
we're in Oktoberfest season firmly, and a true style of beer, even though the style is so broad, the
Sure.
spectrum is so broad.
Sure.
I love that it doesn't include lactose. It doesn't include Lucky Charms. I love that.
Yet.
And this isn't me just yelling at clouds. I mean, it's just, hey, this is the season, and we're gonna have breweries out there trying to brew great, clean, well carbonated, just representations in their own way of a really great style of beer, at least locally.
Yeah.
Around the country, I don't know what the fuck everyone else.
Someone's putting Lucky Charms into a Märzen.
It's one of the few styles that I don't think I've ever seen bastardized that way.
Yeah, I don't.
Like,
I was
I've never
trying to
seen
think
it,
of that.
Like,
there's no imperial.
hazified or candified or.
Well, even beyond that, have you ever seen an imperial Festbier, an imperial Märzen? Have you ever seen even something
Maybe.
to where? Maybe. Okay.
I wouldn't say that probably exists, but I
Okay,
don't think I've
okay.
ever seen like
an adjunct.
hazy Oktoberfest.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Purposely.
No, I would agree with that, and I love that this style has stayed pretty true. Again, as broad as it is, as you pointed out.
Didn't Shift Beers have an Imperial Oktoberfest?
Oh, I don't know.
From one of their people sent one. What was the girl from like
from
Oregon
the
or
Pacific
something?
Northwest? Yeah, Pilsner girl. I follow her on Instagram because I'm a
Didn't she-
creeper.
I think she sent them an Imperial.
She might. I'd have
I
to.
think
I'd
she
have to
sent them an
look
Imperial
back.
Oktoberfest. I think.
Okay. I mean,
I still love that could be a thing because as
Right.
a person that brewed an Oktoberfest that was at like 7.1% ABV or something like that one time, it's like you can have Imperial
right. I don't
Oktoberfest.
think that would necessarily be a bastardization of the style. But I am still glad that there is still a very dedicated range. I mean, the edges are a little fuzzy of, like the ABV range, stuff like that. But for the most part, an Oktoberfest, be it Festbier, Märzen, whatever, is still an Oktoberfest.
I'm searching.
Yeah.
There is a Oktoberfest haze that Spanish Marie Brewery made back in like 2020.
Okay.
But I think that it was a little
It was
hazy.
like a one-time-
So they just called it.
A hazy.
So-
Gotcha. Okay.
I think.
They should be kicked off the earth.
Oh,
No longer in production.
the brewery or the beer? Yeah,
we did it.
Well, that's
Congratulations, everyone. We did it.
why. That is why. We got more financial advice from Mike Bringsity Morgan.
Yeah,
Invest in whiskey and rare alcohol.
it's a great idea.
You can't drink it, but you should totally invest in it and give all your money into,
Right.
to other people
Rich
who will
people,
invest in it. Yes.
what rich people are investing into, or what rich people want as toys and luxuries. Mm-hmm. Rich people are going to fund.
Yes, absolutely. From there, it kind of spilled over into who drinks the most of like different types of spirits. And they were like, well, how many people are there in the Philippines? Well, guess what, guys? I looked it up for you because they're certainly not going to do their own research. Even though they have an entire production team, there are hand signals flying all over the table. And so do either of you have a guess as to the number of the population of the Philippines as of a survey done in 2022?
1 million people.
1900.
Ooh,
Is
doing
this
the Price is
like-
Right thing? Yeah, I was just going to say, are we doing Price is Right trivia? Or not trivia, but rule set? Marco wins 117.4 million. Yeah, so even if you would have
What?
guessed $1, you would have been incorrect.
Yeah.
100 million people?
Oh, yeah. These are the facts. Yeah. These are our truths. Yeah.
Isn't the Philippines like the size of like California?
Are you questioning my
I'm
pretend Google skills?
I'm asking for details. What
Well,
is the square? Yeah,
it's-
get Googling
you get-
because
you get-
what is the square footage of the Philippines? Like how big is the Philippines?
It's like twice the size of Texas.
That
You're
doesn't-
believing he's looking at me like, are you actually being like factual right now? It's like,
Right.
and not just I made up a
Twice the
random
size
number to
of
try to
Texas.
right. And from the Philippines, you can see Russia. Let me give you some geographical knowledge as well as some population knowledge here.
Okay.
It is 74% the size of California.
Well, that's your truth.
It's a Google truth.
See, this is why we can't have nice things.
Hey, yeah.
I try to have fun with this, and then you get, this asshole that shows up and just like, I'm going to fact check everything you say. That's not the point of the show, man.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot.
A lot of people squeezed into less than one state.
Yeah,
So what
it's
does Google say to you?
It's about 3/4 of the size of California, which has a population of 39 million.
Yeah. They're very
That's
close.
insane.
They're very close.
They're
They're
stacked
very
on top of
friendly.
each
They're
other.
just, yes, it's fine.
Stacked.
Once again,
big on bunk beds.
there an IKEA there?
Yeah. It's IKEA. They eat a lot of meatballs, too. It's crazy. And ribs. Who knew?
Who knew about the ribs?
Who knew?
I'm telling you. I knew about the
Philippines.
pizza. I knew about the ribs.
Yeah.
Wait. Are the ribs at IKEA?
Yes.
Apparently, that's what I was saying. I was like, what? What do you mean there are ribs at IKEA? What is going on here?
McRibs, ribs, or are they actually on a bone?
They're on a bone.
Is it a real bone?
Yes. Yeah.
That's never mind.
Haven't you been to IKEA?
It's been a while, I guess.
Been a while.
Do the ribs, are they flat packed? Like, do they put the bone in as you're like ordering your ribs, or does they ship separate?
It's a rib skewer.
Part A into part B.
Correct. Yeah, you got to put them together. You have to assemble the ribs.
I believe you.
I know, but it's not. It's a weird number. All right, let's try to get this train back on track so that we can drink more beer.
That's
elsewhere.
a metric shit ton of people.
That is a metric shit ton of people. Yeah, yeah. So I actually Googled this now instead of just making up a random number, which actually wasn't too far off. If I'm looking at this from 2021, according to the Googles, 113.9 million people live in the Philippines or lived in the Philippines, which for, like you said, the size of the country, that's a lot of bunk beds.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Like, where is the room for anything else? It's like everyone just stands next to each other, that's just it.
Yeah.
I don't know. They talked about contract distilling a bit. Don't know how much we need to dive into that because, I mean, there are.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay, let's do
Why
it.
is contract distilling worse than contract brewing?
I don't think it is. I think it's
not.
It's not.
They seem to just kind of glance right over top of that and not even care at all about it.
Because it's not a big deal.
What's the difference?
So to me, it's there isn't. I mean, if you have their number and you think one of them would pick up.
Neither one of them would open up or pick up their phone.
Hey guys, what did you mean when you said? They don't even answer my email, so I mean, yeah, we're definitely not going to try to. Although they would probably answer if you called rather than one of us, since they have no idea what either of our numbers are.
I don't know.
No, not sure about that. All right.
If I was sharing the idea for my next show.
Oh. Breaking news. You can hear the connection between lawn care and cannabis, because there is a definite connection there, tied to some companies that you may not associate with one or the other, or
True.
both.
Yeah.
Then they got into some of the non-beer news. The biggest one that they talked about was a U.S. soldier defecting to North Korea, and how it was one of those, what he did in all sense of things really wasn't all that bad. Like, is it really so bad that you thought defecting to North Korea was going to be the better option? All I could think about was...
Can't be. No way.
The only thing that I could think of was, it's like the movie, The Increasingly Bad Decisions of Todd Margaret, if either of you have ever seen that one. It has...
Is that the one with the watermelon?
That is not the one with the
I'm
watermelon.
trying to think of the name of that movie.
You're thinking of Mounds 2021. And that's not it. This one has David Cross in it, and he basically is an American that gets a job at a drink factory in the UK. And instead of just when someone says, "Oh, you do this," instead of him correcting them and, "Oh, no, you misunderstood, it's this," he just kind of rolled with it. And each lie, just like every single moment, you're like, if you would just admit to this, all of this would go away. But then he just gets too deep into it. Hilarious movie. Check it out.
Sure, it wasn't the same movie.
There are a lot of. You're right. There are a lot of similarities. Bad decisions.
Seatless in Seattle. Was that it? No.
I mean, no one's getting any sleep. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. I
didn't know if Marco got the joke.
Okay. So we had to have. Good God. I'm.
You okay?
Brain broke. They got into their email question of the week.
Yeah.
I sent them a very, very nice way too long email about the strawberry cheesecake sour.
Right.
That they said, hey, if anyone gets this, let us know what you think. Let us know how much it costs. Let us know all this stuff. I gave a very in-depth, this is what I paid for a single can. This is what was listed for the 4-pack. These are the flavor notes I got out of it. This is this. I even gave a too long didn't read at the top saying, if you don't want to read all this bullshit, here are my 2-sentence thoughts. Not a mention. Not a single one.
So they didn't give a fuck.
No. I think they're making up these email questions. Although...
I think they are.
Except for the one from our friend Greg. Because we know Greg.
We know Greg, yeah.
He exists, so his email question did exist. But as far as everything else, I think producer Adam is just...
Are we sure they're real?
Ooh. This is true. I never thought about that. They might not be.
I've never met Mike.
I would say I have, but I really haven't either.
Have you ever touched them? Because even if you see them, I don't know if that's enough these days.
This is true. Hologram technology is getting really, really daggone good.
With all of these weird investments you can make in foreign booze.
I don't know. You're right. You are right. They probably don't exist.
Maybe some kind of weird marketing move by Diageo.
Ooh. I mean, they are both white men, so it makes sense. Yeah. We may have new buttons.
All right.
Yeah.
New buttons. Let's go.
All right. They ended with email question, what brewery would you not save? Because last week was all about if you could save any brewery out there, what would it be? This was which one would you just let crash and burn?
Founders.
That was my thought too. Yeah. They had a different thought that I guess could work, but there aren't enough issues with the brewery that they said to make me say, yeah, I'd be okay with that. But yeah, Founders, fuck them. Marco, any thoughts?
I like that.
Okay.
I like that one.
All right.
It's a good one. Came to mind.
All right. Well, was there anything else that either of you had on Brew Sky's Booze News, Boobs News, Brews Twos, Shoes News?
Nah.
I don't know. I got nothing else that
It was
rhymes.
fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
Definitely watch their shows on YouTube. The chemistry, the facial reactions, just the way that they interact with each other is amazing, and that also sounded like a porn reference. Maybe it is. I mean, if you're not watching.
I'm more fascinated by the development of the bar behind them.
Every single time you have to try to pick out
obsessed.
the picture of, I don't think it's a lighthouse, but it made me think of a lighthouse.
I think it's probably a brewery. I can't tell which one without getting closer.
If you liked what we did, please let us know. We're at Truth Beer Pod on all the social media platforms, including X, even though God knows what's going to happen with that dumpster fire of a social media platform. Send us an email with any of your thoughts, truthbeerpod@gmail.com. Go to our website, but get this, truthbeerpod.com. There are links to all of our social media pages, links to our email, all of our episodes, which are also on YouTube if you want to listen via YouTube. And there's also links if you want to donate a couple bucks to us on a one-time or a monthly basis, get some extra content, all kinds of fun stuff. Otherwise, Marco, what are you guys going to be doing next Tuesday?
I'm going to be here with you. At least I think we're going to be here. The plan is here.
Be here. Yeah,
could change, but we're still going to be where you never know. Either way, we're going to be talking about Cincinnati Craft Beer Podcast.
Sounds good. We'll see you there.